Hello, beautiful people. My name is Jordan Harrington Jones. I am the founder of Better Business Detroit. I have a special guest with me today, and we're going to be talking about how we are raising the standard in Detroit. Did you take a moment to just introduce yourself to our people?
Hi, everybody. My name is AnJelic, and I'm a harpist from Detroit, Michigan. Here with Jordan today, and I'm excited to talk with everybody.
So, you have a special talent that may be unique to some or even unheard of, and I want you to introduce what it is that you do that's so special and that you bring it to the community.
Yeah, so I'm a harpist. I'm a singer, songwriter, and a producer. There aren't that many harpists in Detroit, really in the country and the world at this point in time. So it is my goal to bring more awareness to the instrument and just get it out in front of more people and let people know that it exists and that it has so much beauty inside of it. So, yeah.
Can you take us back to the first time you discovered the harp and let us know what drew you to it?
Hmm. Yeah, so my high school just happened to have a harp program, which is crazy. It has the oldest harp program in the country. I went to Cass Tech High School.
Cast Tech.
Yeah, CT. Yeah, they had a harp program, and I met my harp teacher, Miss Lydia Cleaver, there when I was 16.
Okay.
And I had her for music theory, and she introduced me to the harp. I started taking harp, and I never let it go since then, and I don't plan on it either. So, yeah.
You grew up in Detroit. You mentioned you grew up on the North End. How did your environment affect your relationship or just mold your relationship with music?
So I grew up in Detroit in the North End. I feel like my environment pushed me to desire greatness, just seeing so much trauma and a lot of violence growing up. The city's changed a lot since I was little, but it just always pushed me to want more in life. And I think Detroit is beautiful how it is, but it's always given me the desire for more and the desire to push myself out of poverty and just see more another side of life. Yeah.
Cass Tech is a very prestigious high school, one of the best in the country, if I do say so myself.
Definitely.
How did Cass Tech's music program influence your musical journey?
Yeah, so going to CAST, they always pushed us to be our best. They pushed us to strive for excellence. So I feel like that's pushed me as well to just give my best and my all to everything I do, especially with music. So just whether that's learning as much as I can about classical theory, music theory, it's given me that desire to push myself farther and go farther with things.
Part of my way of contributing to a better environment is fostering a culture of collaborations. So recently I saw that Big Sean and Friends did a very nice concert at DSO.
Yeah.
I would love to see you there. So I want you to speak to the influencers, the artists, the musicians, and just let them know how having a harp can turn up whatever it is that you're doing, any project. But specifically, we have a lot of Detroit culture, and Big Sean is a Cast Tech too. I think that would have been a very great special touch to that performance. But if you have something that you want to say to the musicians, I'm sure you're open to collaborations.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people associate the harp with classical music. So that's something that I'm trying to do is take it out of that context. I don't really want to be in an orchestra, even though I have the skills to play like classically. I see the harp having a new connotation with it. So I would say that the harp can be anything. It can be rap, it can be with country, it can be with jazz, any genre. And I'm open to collaborations as well, always. And I
you
would love
just
to play
taking
with
it out the
people.
box.
Yeah, taking it out the
Yeah.
box. Yeah.
I did see one of your performances. I think I saw I saw one where you were singing, and that is amazing that you can multitask.
Thank you. Yeah.
And then I saw one when you had the crowd involved, and you were telling them, "I need you to say this and clap with me," and it was like really cool. That it's like we don't know what to expect. Most of the time, my first reaction would be quiet and listen to the instrument, but you provided direction and you got the crowd involved, and you were giving a message. So
Yeah.
I love how you are using the focal point and your platform to raise awareness. And I can't wait to see what you have coming up soon.
Thank you. Yeah.
So you describe the harp as your passion and your purpose. What does it mean to play an instrument so few people, especially Black artists, are not exposed to?
I feel very privileged to be able to play an instrument like the harp and very honored to play such a rare and really expensive instrument. And that's another reason why I'm working so hard to make it more accessible. That's a part of my goal as a harpist, is to put it in front of people and show that it can be more than just a classical instrument. So I'm very grateful for the harp and very grateful for mentors who have poured so much into me in schools like CAS, who have poured so much into the youth. So yeah.
Yes, I did get a little taste of the cello and violins when I was younger. I went to elementary school on Margarita, right off of Livernois. I can't even think of the name right now. It's not Bobian. They changed the names of the Detroit schools so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But I had a violin teacher. Her name was Miss Paterni. I want to say that we went to other schools like Bates and we just collaborated. And we had a chance to perform at the DSO, but I was in elementary
That's
school.
what's up.
So I didn't get to experience that as an adult. But just that experience, it did stick with me. So it's okay. If I did decide to go to a musical industry, I have an outlet where I can explore this more. I know that I'm capable of playing the violin, even if it was just Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Stars. It's like, okay, it's possible. Sometimes we just have to do to know that it exists. So I'm glad that you are showing kids that are younger than you that there are multiple possibilities, whether you see it on the front end. We see a lot of piano and we can add something to those. We see the guitars, our voice is an instrument, and you are combining a lot of different instruments. I want to ask you, in addition to being a harpist, you're also a singer, songwriter, and producer. How do these creative roles feed into each other?
How do they feed into each other? I like to blend all of my different inspirations musically. The way that I feed into each other is I like to make my own songs with the harp
Okay.
and produce, including the harp inside of it, and just create my own songs and new things with it.
I think a harp would be a great addition to a beat.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have our own sound of like bass for Detroit beats, but to add a harp on it, even if it's just like the intro part of it, I think that would be cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing what people do with this newfound information. We do have people in our city for our city that is ready to work and to just take everything to another level. Detroit is so talented.
Yeah.
So that's a part of my mission to put the positive things on the mainstream. I'm not dependent on local 2, 4, or 7 to amplify my community when I see positivity. So this is my way of giving people their flowers. Why is it so important to you to make the harp more popular and accessible for the Black community?
Yeah, it's important to me because a barrier for entry for a lot of people is the cost of the harp. And if I didn't go to the high school that I went to, I never would have ever been able to play a harp because they cost tens and thousands of dollars. And I think it's important to me because a lot of people, when I tell them that I play the harp, they're always saying, I've always wanted to play the harp, or they wish that they could play the harp. And I just want to represent people, show up as representation, because there aren't that many harpists, let alone Black women who play the harp. And it's starting to become more popular, but I'm trying to push for more people to play. And I would like to see it more affordable one day. And I'm still brainstorming ways to make that happen for people. Yeah, I just got lucky to have a teacher who let me have a discount on a harp. So yeah, really blessed. Yeah.
So just from listening to you talk, my first thoughts are, let's get this young lady a custom harp. We need to find a company that make harps and get some type of sponsorships. And then also, I don't know how you feel about doing business, but I think a nonprofit to where maybe you can get some harps donated to you and maybe you can teach kids and introduce it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing it out there, and I will hope that connections can come through or just that it can spark more ideas because the money is there. There's a lot of funding. There's a lot of programs in Detroit public schools, and we just got to learn where to apply it to. So we're going to throw that out there, and we're going to manifest, and we're going to see where it grows. What do you hope young Black children see or feel when they witness you performing?
That's a great question. I hope that they feel inspired. I hope that they feel inspired to play this instrument and just see that they can do it too. A lot of people see it as a difficult instrument to play, and it can be, but I think that everybody can do it, and it's just like playing guitar or piano or drums, and we just need more people to take on the task of learning how to play it.
Yeah.
You know,
And I
it'd be
think it's a
beautiful to see.
connection
Yeah,
sometimes. Like once
yeah,
you own it, it's like your fingers just got to know how to move naturally.
yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Currently, you are raising funds to repair your harp. Can you share challenges you face trying to find people to support you? Also, I want you to tell us how people can reach you. Do you have a GoFundMe? Is that in your link in your bio? And what ways are we trying to get the word out so people know that you are in a need of support?
Yeah. I feel like people actually have been very supportive in helping me get my harp repaired. I've gotten a lot of donations that I'm extremely grateful for because people don't have to give me anything. So I'm grateful even if it's $1. And I feel like people have supported in that way. And I still have a long way to go. And a way that I've been trying to fund my repairs is by doing harp repair concerts, like rent concerts that people used to do back in the day. And all the funds go towards my repairs. And I do have a GoFundMe account that people have been donating to. Yeah.
I think it's very cool that you already have a village established. Sometimes we don't have support of people that we trust, that we can talk to, that we can ask for help without it being a backhanded compliment or it's just, I'm doing this to get something else.
Yeah.
So it's very great if you have a village that are intentional and motivated and supporting in your mission and actually pouring into you in ways that you need. I want to know, what is your dreams for the next 5 years? Your dreams now, because like I said before, your dreams could grow into something much bigger. But where you are now, what are your goals for the next 5 years? What are things that you want to see done, whether it's a personal or professional goal?
Yeah. Over the next 5 years, I see myself traveling the world, having multiple albums out. I'm working on my first EP right now, hoping to get that out in August.
Okay.
And I also forgot to ask about that, but I just released a single last week called Judge Me. So just continuing to release music, and that's another way that another method that I have for getting the harp out is by having it in my music. So I see myself traveling the world with my music, playing concerts around the world, and teaching people as well, teaching the next generation what I know about the harp.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got an extra question. Bonus. Will there be a listening party and will I get an invite?
Yeah, of course.
I have one last question. If you were provided with exposure, a platform, and money to support your mission, how would you use that to amplify your mission and your voice? If someone came to you right now and was like, look, I got it. What's your pitch to this person? How are you going to sell your services and your needs while aligning with your mission?
Yes, this is a great question because I need to be prepared. Preparation is success always. If I had all the resources, I would buy more harps for public schools so that there are more harp programs like Tech available for people to play. And I've always had a dream of starting a harp center.
Okay.
And I'm like hesitant of I'm the type of person I'd rather show people, but I would like people to have a place that they could just go play a harp and not have to pay anybody extra money to just come play it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Whether it's a platform of concerts and it's like for a certain cause, those people are out there. They just don't know. They just haven't found you yet. So conversations like this is going to bring you a little bit closer.
Yeah.
I was at 1 Million Cups yesterday, which is in Fern, but it's a very great resource. They are partnered with Oakland Thrive, which is for Oakland County residents. But they have guest speakers. They have a lot of resources where they will help you if you are looking at it as a business plan. They will help you structure your business. People were there and they were pitching. Even me, someone I am comfortable in my element, but when I have to sell something, I want my clientele to find me naturally. But sometimes I have to let them know that, hey, you need customer service training. Did you know? That's something that we do need to invest in our Black businesses and our D-Trade businesses. But I mentioned to one of the facilitators that I'm having my Raising the Standard on Monday, and I said, I'm going to have a live performance, and she played a harp. And he was like, I can't wait to meet her.
Oh,
So I want
wow.
you to know
Yeah.
that spreading your word with me, now you have me that I will advocate and I will rep you.
Wow.
And
Thank you. Yeah.
any time that I see, I was talking to a young lady just before I got here today. I'm a part of the Young Adult Advisory Coalition for Miss Mary Sheffield because I'm learning to be more civically involved in our community. It is very important that we pay attention to what's going on to us locally. In my experience, I went to school not decades, but a decade ago,
Yeah.
and the judicial, like the government as a whole, the three branches of the government, the federal government, federal elections, that's what was highlighted. We didn't talk about police commissioners. We didn't
Definitely.
talk
Yeah.
about city council members. We didn't talk about just how we can have citizen oversights and we can have a voice in local elections. The different proposals where it's vote yes or no, and I don't even know what I'm voting. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
How do these two outcomes affect us or me as an individual? I think it's very important that we get more involved in our community. But they are looking for different events, and I'm like, I have a live performer. We don't have to think headliner on a large scale to where someone is established and they know. We have people that are growing in our community and they would love to use this opportunity to promote and to support a local cause.
Yeah.
So just different things like that. I am throwing your name out there. If you have something, if you ever see me with someone and you like, Jordan, I would love to work with this person. Can you tell me a little bit about this person? Because like I have a guy that's recording for me and I was reaching out to different influencers in Detroit. And I'm like, I don't know these people. You only know what be about Mr. Donnie B. And I checked it out and I was like, oh, he's great. I would love for him to come and speak. And I reached out to him and he said yes to me. And it was like a natural alignment because you have to know who you're sitting in a room with and if you're for it, if you're not for it, can we work together? Could I just support you? Can you support me? And we have to use that to our advantage and we have to collaborate and we have to make it better for everybody. It doesn't always have to be a one-sided.
Yeah.
So I am very grateful for you allowing me to interview you because this is practice. I'm grateful that I'm able to pour into you and to ask you to perform on Monday. That is a big deal.
Yeah,
That's a
thank
big
you
deal
so
to me
much.
to say, I got a harp at my very first class. It is a community-centered event. So I'm blessed that with that opportunity just to ask and to speak to Philip at the Common A Young Rec Center. Hey, can I do a free class here? And for them to say yes, it's a lot easier
Yeah.
for us to get these opportunities. We just don't know. Yesterday, I was in District 5, which is like the east side, 94 Van Dyke area, and I had the pleasure of going to a garden where she have things that she have already in place, but she have a bigger vision. She's getting a greenhouse installed.
up, yeah.
And I was just able to see what her mission is and how can I help, and maybe I can donate a day of my time, a day, a couple hours, little stuff like that matters. We have resources around us. I was making hair oils and I took a step back from that, but at the Story Community Garden, she had fresh rosemary.
Hey,
So it's
yeah.
like when I do go back into making hair oils, I'm going to go to her to get my products. I know that they're safe. I know that they're locally grown. I know who I'm pouring into. And I think like just these conversations, we have to bring our people into the room because you don't know what could come from that collaboration. It's not about me. It's not about you. We just shouted out two people that people need to know about. That's what Better Business Detroit is about. And I'm so grateful for your time. I can't wait to see Monday. I want people to come to the Coleman A. Young Rec Center. We're going to be there every Monday, 6:30 to 7:30. We're going to have different speakers. So this Monday is going to be a young Black therapist that I feel like she can add value and awareness to mental health in our community. We don't know that we have mental health services that are available. We don't know that we have people that have been through similar struggles as us and how they're overcoming them. One of the things as a business owner, and I'm just beginning, I'm learning how to recharge. A therapist asked me, how do you relax?
Yeah.
How do I relax?
Yeah,
Do I
no,
relax?
for real,
Instead of
yes.
just people saying, oh, you need to chill.
Yeah.
Well, how do I chill?
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
something that I'm learning as an individual. When I'm taking on so much, how do you relax and say, this moment is for Jordan? in. I need to turn all of this off, and I need to focus on me so that I can show up. So I can show up and promote and to collab and to teach and to learn and to be able to just take it in. As we end our interview, I just wanted to give you this moment to shout out anything that resonates with you that's Detroit, whether it's family members, individuals, organizations, businesses. This is your time to shout those out.
Yeah, so shout out to my mom. She has a soap business called Bathian, and she grows all of the ingredients for the soap herself in her garden. She has this big greenhouse in the north end. So Bathian, everything is great. Soap, hair oil, shampoo, all types of stuff. Anything self-care, Bathian.
Okay. Bath.
Yep.
And END.
Bath, IAN.
IAN. And we're going to put the spelling, and I want you to send me if you have an Instagram, and as we post your interviews, and we can put that as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.